Long ago, in the heart of the endless ocean, there lived a kingdom where the sea folk ruled with grace and wisdom. Among them was a mermaid princess, born with a heart full of dreams too vast for the waters that raised her. Even as a child, she was enchanted by stories of the surface, of the great upworld, where salt met jasmine and clouds danced like wandering spirits. Each time a sister turned 15, she swam to the surface and returned with dazzling stories. Of sparkling cities, of feathered fish that soared in the air, of children whose legs danced like fish tails in the shallows. But to the youngest princess, stories were not enough. She longed to see the great upworld with her own eyes. When she turned 15, the Sea Queen gave her blessing. The day had come. The ocean would finally share her daughter with the sky. Upward she swam, toward the glittering veil that separated her world from another. There, she saw it for the first time, a ship, mighty and strange. Music danced across its decks. Lights shimmered like stars. And among the humans stood a young man whose smile stirred something deep within her. A prince, though she did not yet know his name. But the sea turned violent, as storms often do. Winds howled, waves roared, the ship cracked like driftwood. Through the fury, she found him sinking. With all her strength, she carried him to safety. When he awoke, she was gone, hiding behind the foam. But her heart had already made its choice. Back in the ocean, her thoughts were no longer of wonders, but of him. To stand beside him, she would give up everything. She sought the sorceress of the deep, whose price was always steep and never kind. Drink this, and you shall walk on 2 legs, but your voice will be lost, and if he does not love you, your soul will turn to foam. With trembling hands, she drank. Pain pierced through her like fire. Her tail split, and silence filled her mouth. She awoke with legs, barefoot on the sand, and eyes full of hope. The prince found her, mute, mysterious, and strangely familiar. He welcomed her into his palace. They laughed, they danced, but he never knew who she truly was. And love, unspoken, remained incomplete. Soon came news that shattered her heart. He was to wed a princess from a distant land. On the night of the wedding, she stood alone, watching him dance with another, her tears swallowed by the sea wind. Then came a sound, flippers in the surf. Her sisters rose from the waves, sorrow in their eyes. "We begged the sorceress," they said. "Plunge this knife into the prince's heart before dawn, and you shall live. Return to us." She crept to where he slept. Her hands shook. The knife glinted like a star fallen to earth. But she saw the peace on his face, the gentle way his hand rested near his bride's. And so, with a sigh like the tide receding, she let the knife fall into the sea. The sun rose, and with it, the spell completed. Her body began to fade, like foam on the crest of a wave. But instead of death, she rose, light as sea mist, into the sky, welcomed by the daughters of the air. "You have chosen love over vengeance," they whispered. "Now you shall live among us and one day earn a soul." The prince stood on the sand, sensing a presence in the wind, a sadness, and something like peace. And the mermaid princess, once voiceless, now eternal, drifted with the wind, dreaming still of the great upworld.